Mr. Samuel, for this wonderful opportunity. I'd like to appreciate everyone out there, and for the viewers, for people that will watch this live, and for other people that will watch this later. I strongly believe, God, that this moment for me will be a moment of transformation for everyone. I always tell people that the energy of change is about what we would do differently. The energy of change is about what we will do differently. And the goal of knowledge is transformation. Every knowledge received per time, either in church, either in a mentoring platform like this, either in the mosque, or wherever you receive knowledge, at the end of that knowledge, the knowledge should take you into one conversation. What will I stop? What will I begin to do? That's the bottom line of knowledge. What will I stop? And what will I begin to do? Before I go into this conversation tonight, let me quickly say this, that we are not in ordinary times at all. It is important for us to know the spirit of the season. It's very vital for us to know the width of the ages and where we are today in the clock of human journey. Three things. We are not in ordinary times at all. We need to know the spirit of the season. We need to know the weight of the ages. And we need to know where we are in the clock of human journey. Let me take us back to a little history before I go into the conversation. Every 500 years, something unprecedented normally hit the world. Every 500 years. The last that happened was in 1517. And that was Martin Luther King Revolution. Martin Luther King Jr. Revolution. It started in the church, went to the public, took over the corporate culture, and transformed the entire system. So everything that is referred today as human government, democracy, government, everything started, or everything was battered by that Martin Luther King movement. The world was due, our world was due for another 500 years in 2017. Now, by 2018 January, the world was set for another 500 years of unprecedented happenings. But nobody had an idea of the transition, how we will find ourselves in that new world, new season. And lo and behold, 2019 came, COVID-19. So, COVID-19 took us into that journey. COVID-19 took us into that new system. COVID-19 took us into a world that has been reprogrammed. The software running the universe expired in 2018. I may not have time to go into all of that. I'm sorry, I'm not here to convince anybody, but just stay with me. I'm going somewhere, okay? The software running the entire universe expired in 2019. And a new software was released in 2020. In fact, a word ended in 2019, 2020. And another word began in 2020. And that word redefined the way we live, the way we love, the way we interact, the way we do business. In fact, the way we do everything. So a new word was battered in 2020. Now, for everyone to sit back and wants to begin to run his business in the old traditional method before 2020, or still having that old paradigm, way of thinking before 2020. In fact, I can describe that person as a blast from the past. A lot has happened. And for me, after a lot of research, reading books, attend seminars, mentoring programs like this, even studying the Word of God, paying attention to the Scripture, all of that, I came to one conclusion that literally transformed and changed my life forever. I'm going to talk about some of my mistakes. I should go ahead, right? I came into one conclusion that literally changed my life forever. And that conclusion was my thought pattern. The way I think, the way I see the world. I had a new world view. And that new world view impacted in what I do. And because of the impact on what I do, it translates into the output of my life. My worldview changed. I had a new paradigm. There's a shift somewhere. And that shift completely affects what I do. And that translates to the output, the result that I currently have today. So, for me, it is important for us to know that in times like these, responsibility is the name of the new game. If it's going to be, either you are watching me out there or we are all together in this room this evening, either you are watching me out there, please hear me and hear me well. If your life will amount to anything on this side of the heaven, it's up to you. If your life will count, if you're going to find your voice under the sun, if you're going to carve a niche for yourself on this side of the heaven, it's up to you. And that takes me to my background, where I started from. I was born in a family of 8 children, 4 boys, 4 girls. My dad was so poor that the only land he has in his village, my dad sold it. The only land, I still remember as a teenager, I followed my dad to, I'm from Oyo State. I don't look, some people say I look like maybe one Fulani somewhere. I look like one from Nigeria, I don't know. But I'm from Oyo State. I remember I followed my dad to that land and he showed us the land. This is the only land he could acquire because of poverty. And that poverty so dealt with him that he decided to sell that only one land. And I remember as a teenager many years ago, and as a person of faith many years ago, I prayed a prayer that God should help me to rewrite the history of my lineage. I still remember that prayer as a teenager. I started my walk with God when I was in JSS2. JSS2. And I made up my mind, if it's going to be, it's up to me. If my life will count, it's up to me. If my life will matter, it's up to me. So I decided to take responsibility for my life. There's a place of God, there's a role I need to play. I struggled through school, as in, it wasn't easy at all. You know, a lot of times people look at me and say, this man, you look like one Ajebo. I say, I don't understand what they're talking about. Because I'm not even Ajekpako. If there's anything below Ajekpako, people say I look like the son of one rich man from somewhere. But where? I've told you guys, my dad is so poor that the only land he has is study. We struggle to go to school. I've done a bike before. This normal cyclist, I've done it. I've done all kind of things, all kind of work to be out of school. So I came to Abuja as a young graduate. After all the, all of that, I graduated from school. I was very active on campus. In fact, I was the president of the largest fellowship on campus. You know FCS very well. FCS, yes, I was in charge of FCS. In fact, we run two services, all of that. That's not the question for today. So I came to Abuja as a young graduate, seeking for a job everywhere. My first experience, they said they won't pay us salary. It has to be commission. And I also went for other interviews. They will tell you need 2 years experience, 3 years, 4 years. So I asked one of the guys when they said, am I going to manufacture experience? I said, I'm a young graduate. So where am I going to get the experience from? So I made up my mind to volunteer. My first job in Abuja was a volunteering job. No salary. No salary. From there, I got a job of 15,000 naira, 40K, 70K, 120K. And finally, God opened the door for me in MTN. I was with MTN for 10 years and 11 months. My first salary in MTN was about 258,000. I still remember very well. 258. So there was an incremental of that. After a few years, I discovered that my time was up in MTN. In fact, I'm working on a product very soon, why I fired my boss. In that book, I'm going to explain why I left MTN. It's another conversation, not for today. So when I saw that my time was up in MTN, I resigned. I ported to Globalcom. And Globalcom tripled my salary. In MTN, I left with about 480, thereabout. And Globalcom said, see, just come. We'll pay you times 3. In fact, I requested for 2.5 million naira every month, my salary. Because when I was doing the HR interview with the HR, was asking me the value. I said, see, I'm going to bring value to the table. I want 2.5. Oh, I said, no, I can't pay that. To cut a long story short, I ended up with over 1 million naira every month, apart from commission of that. So, but when my time was also up in Globalcom, I fired my boss. I left. I remember when I left Globalcom, I sent a mail to the HR. I remember the HR called me and said, it's like I have eye fever or something. That they'll give me 2 weeks to think about it. I said, okay, there's no think about it. I've left. If I've gone, Anyway, that is not the conversation for today. Maybe when else we meet, I can only, but like I said, I'm going to talk about all of that, why I finally left Globalcom, all of that. And the rest is history today. My first 1 year, they didn't tell me that to be an entrepreneur, you pass through fire. I saw fire.
This is shaking.
I saw fire. So I was asking myself, am I sure I didn't make mistake? I'm serious. When I resigned from Globalcom, few of my friends came to my house, or my library. I remember one of my friends entered my library and said, Femi, Congratulations, but do you know that your life will be like this? I saw hell. In fact, that Christmas, the Christmas a year I left Globalcom, home and abroad, I didn't have up to 5,000 naira when everybody shouted Happy New Year. I look at my accounts, Happy New Year. What is so good about this year? What? Happy what? I still remember I had 3,300 naira. I was earning over 1 million. And I just wake up one morning and say, I'm not doing it again. And I remember a few things, conversation I had with a few of my mentors, all of that. But there's something that hit me. There's something I held onto. The story of Esther. I told myself, in this decision, if I perish, I perish. Because I think I heard my spirit well for me to just walk away. But I was tempted because at that period I got an offer. A company reached out to me from through LinkedIn, reached out to me from India, all of that. And they said they will pay me $4,000 per month. I was tempted. I said, let's do the interview. So I did the interview, first stage, second stage. I said, I'm not doing it again. The HR was shocked. I said, I'm not doing it again. She said, what do you want? I said, can they increase my salary to $6,000 every month? She said they will increase it. I said, I'll get back to you. Was I earning $6,000 then? No. So I went back. I said, please, let's forget about this conversation. Let's stop. There's no point. I'm not interested again. I saw hell. But today, I'm actually grateful to God for thus far. So what are some of the mistakes? When I left Globalcom, right, the first mistake I made was wrong investment. I like you to calculate how much my savings will be, earning over $1 million every month. So I had a savings somewhere. In fact, I even went to pension fund. I collected my 25%. Yes. I collected because my salary was okay. My 25% was over 5 million naira. Yes. So a friend of mine shared a business opportunity with me. I didn't ask questions. I didn't do some due diligence. I didn't research about the opportunity. They only told me that if you put this, you get this. I didn't ask the right question. So I looked at it as, okay, with the calculation they made, I'll be getting about $550,000 a month when I put all the money there. I said, that's not bad at all. At least 50% of what, almost 50% of what I was earning, that can take care of a few things. Because when I left Globalcom, part of what I did, I actually have my own office anyway. In my estate, I bought an office. So I left Globalcom on Friday. By Monday, I was seated, furnished. The office was furnished. I couldn't afford the town, but in my estate, I said, let me just start from somewhere. So I bought all this, what's it called? Is this shopping mall, right? Yes. Inside the plaza. So I started my office inside my estate. So I didn't ask questions. So I put all the money there. The first 1 month, I got my return. I was excited. The second month, fantastic. The third month, I got my return. The fourth month, we were logging in, the thing was logging us out. I even thought it was internet. We logged in, error. So I said maybe they have, back end issues, all of that. So we had the assurance. We logged in until we couldn't log in. After another month, the website disappeared. We didn't even see the website again. All my savings, wow, entered into that. And my wife actually warned me. Women, and you guys are, I don't know, they see far. Yes. She warned me, but I told my wife, see, don't worry, everybody's fine. Let me just put this money there. The day the business caught fire, I couldn't tell my wife. I was just trying to manage it. But when I couldn't manage again, I have to open up. So, for me, I paid dearly for that wrong investment because I didn't ask. With what I know now, if I've gotten that kind of knowledge that period, there's no way I will put 1,000 into that business. So after that experience, I told myself I am done with anything online business. I am done. That I'm no longer interested. So after about 2 years, after about a year, I read a book by Napoleon Hill, Outwitting the Devil. Very, very powerful book. And in that book, Outwitting the Devil, Napoleon Hill, and the last chapter of the book, the guy was just talking about all the great guys, how they have made it in life, but they have failed and failed and failed and failed and failed and failed again. So it's like in my spirit, I was hearing, don't close shop. Open your mind again, because that one thing of worldview, looking at things differently, querying every knowledge per time, I say, okay, with this, my mind is open. I think I want to go into another online business. So some of the questions I couldn't ask at the other business, I started asking those questions. I did my due diligence. Yeah, for me, it's not as if they are all 100% perfect. But do you know that when I did that business, in about 8 months, I made over $15,000. In about 8 months, I made over $15,000. But remember my mistake. I didn't ask all the questions that I need to ask. Another mistake for me that I made when I was in MTN was not to invest in Bitcoin. I don't know who is watching me out there. I don't know your view about Bitcoin. But till today, it's always painful. Because they came to our office, I still remember some guys that were advertising Bitcoin to us at 50 cents. 50 cents. Less than $1. Do you know why my case was worse, right? My church mind, sometimes church has messed us up too much. I'm sorry to say. In my church mind, I told those guys that Bitcoin is Antichrist money. How many of us know Antichrist? The Antichrist that will call him. Because of the way my brain works, I said, no. No, we're not doing it. They talked and talked and talked. They said, we're not going to do. That same Bitcoin of 50 cents rose to $64,000 last week. One Bitcoin moved from that, started moving 500, 3,000, 6,000, 18, 14,000, 19,000, 24,000, 34,000. Last year, there was a time they sold Bitcoin for $64,000. And I had the privilege to buy one Bitcoin for 50 cents. Yes. But I was afraid that time. Apart from my church mind, I was afraid to take risk. I was chatting with somebody today, right? I said, see, if you are afraid to take risk, calculated risk in life, you can't go far. You cannot. I was just chatting with the person today. I said I did a business, an online business. What's it called? I did an online business. I invested, I think about 3 months ago. I invested $5,000. The guy said, Femi, are you okay? I said, I'm fine. He said, what if the business crashed? I said, I've asked a few questions. I've done my due diligence. He said, what if it crashed? I said, is the business that's crashed? My life will not crash. I need to move on. In 3 months of that business, my ROI was $1,700 in these 3 months, January, February, March, when we are still discussing LUP. Guys, let me say this out there. I had some commercial with some young people in my office some days ago. I said, see, if you're not very careful, right, Many business owners, executive CEOs will realize that we will waste this period till August. From January, they will tell you after election, Abi. Is that not so? Now it's after fasting. After fasting, we are waiting for handover. After handover, they are still to build cabinet. Some people just be wasting their destiny away till August or even September, and the whole period is gone. So number two, wrong investment. Number one, wrong investment. Number two, the fear of taking risk. In fact, that same business that I told you guys that I invested $55,000 in February, there's a marketing side of it that I've made over $3,000 in 3 months. There's a marketing side of it that I've made $3,000. So had $3,000 by plus 1,007. My capital is still there. You know? So, because I've asked a lot of you questions. I said, see guys, like Esther said, if I perish, I perish. But guys, people like that don't perish. They always come back with their testimony. Number three, mistakes that I made early is lack of life goals. I learned that, I didn't learn that early in life. I learned the power of designing your life blueprint in 2017. I went to a program in Lagos. A guy came all the way from the US. I paid money, transported myself, almost 500K to go and learn how to have a blueprint of your life. In 1989, a survey was done for the graduates of Stanford University in 1989. And they were asked 2 questions. The first question, how many of them have goals? And the second question was, how many of them have the plan to achieve their life goals? 2 questions. They were graduating, and they came and asked them those questions. Now, the result of the poll, after they've done the poll, 84% of them have life goals. 13% don't have life goals. 3% have life goals written down, documented, verbatim. The 84% that didn't have the goals, after 20 years, I tell people, see, 20 children don't play for 20 years. It will tell, it will show. After 20 years, the 84% without goals were busy engaged pursuing other people's destiny. The 30% that have life goals but don't document their life goals, they achieve 50% above those that don't even have life goals. But the 3% that had life goals, documented life goals, documented, they achieve over 120%. You can, this research, go and check it online. It's there. Stanford survey for the graduate of 1989. So 3% of them that are clear of what to do with their lives and had it written down did far, far better, in terms of performance above the 97% combined. When I discovered that in life, you don't need to live your life by default. Like the Lagosians, you know these Agbero boys. For some of you guys they can speak Yoruba. That Tolobala Malonjo kan Amalowo. They've been repeating that in the last 30 years. So I realized that you need a life goal. You need a blueprint, a clear print of your life. Because you can't live your life by default. It doesn't work like that. And when I discovered that in 2017, I asked myself, I wish I had knew this. It's not as if my life has been so terrible, but I believe it would have been a better thing for me. Because in that conversation, they told us about 10 things, which, in fact, this morning, right, before I left my house this morning, I started yesterday. Part of what I did this morning is to be clear of my Q2 deliverables. Since that 2017, number one, I identified my life purpose. Number two, I identify how to achieve my life purpose and calling. I got that clarity in 2017, which if I've gotten maybe like 10, 15 years ago, but all the same. So I understood my life purpose. How will I achieve my life purpose? Number three, I set up my priorities in life. If you come to my library now here, you see a one-page document. My life is inside that one-page document. That's my life blueprint. So I set up my life priorities. God, number one. Family, number two. Health, number three. Relationship, number four. If I have friends, are the last one. But before now, friends are number one, number two in my life priority. So, even finance is, I think, about fourth or fifth. Health came first before finance. So every time when I check my life priority, and that's, I know I've been doing some exercise before now, but when I got that clarity, in fact, I told my few of my friends, part of what I do skipping. I can do 2,000 in 10 minutes. Yes. Because when I got to know the power of staying healthy, that it is somebody that is well that can donate blood. You need health to make this money to run around. So I set my priority right, and a lot happened. Then in that template, I have what to continue and what to stop. What are the habits? When I say habit, they may not be a bad habit. The habit to stop and the habit to continue. I documented them. Every January, or every day I see myself in the next 10, 15, 20 years. I crafted my envisioned future. Say, write the vision down. Make it plain. So I have my envisioned future in a statement on my dashboard. It's on my phone. Once in a while, I check them again. Then I have my 1 year goals stated. Because I have stopped, I told myself, now I don't need to live my life by default. So I should be able to predict, just like the Bible said that God called those things that are not as if they are. Exactly. So things should not just happen by accident. I should be able to predict. Success is predictable. And since I started that 2017, there was a major transformation around my life. So I have my 1 year goals in one corner. Then I have my 10-year goal somewhere stated in that one-page document of my life blueprint. Make sure I put that in place. So I have my 90 days goals. I have my 10 years goal, and I have my legacy statement. What will I be known for? What is that one thing that when they remember Femi Joshua? One thing. I read a book by Robin Sharma many years ago. 2 books. Who will cry when you die? and the monk who sold his Ferrari. I was telling that who will cry when you die somewhere. I said some people will come and be crying there because you are owing them. Oh. So it's not as soon everybody that's crying at the graveyard. There are people that, oh, we miss this man. That cry is, oh, so this man went with this 1 million naira. But the highest cry is that, oh my God, we remember this man for God. The monk who sold his Ferrari. So I have my legacy statement there. So when I discovered that in 2017, I stopped living my life by default. Let me go back to us again. Wrong investment, fear of taking risk, then lack of life blueprint. And number 4 mistake, which I later discovered, and for now I also share with people, is not paying attention to what they call the wheel of life. You can go to the internet, just Google wheel. It's in circle like this. You see the wheel like this. And in that wheel, you will see finance. In fact, the first day I did that exercise, right? Because in that wheel, you see the circle like this. Wheel, you know wheel now, W-H, wheel of life. And it has about 7 parameters. The first one there is finance. The second one there is spiritual. The third is family. The fourth is social life. The 5th is career. The affirmation, the first one is what? Finance, family, spiritual, career, social life, intellectual. So the first day I discovered that and were asked to rate yourself, you just, in that wheel, rate yourself from 1 to 10. Where are you? I rated my life in my finance 1 to 10. Oma, I have a long way to go. In my spiritual, I was calling about 8 over 10. In my career was suffering. Intellectual, that was the day I made up my mind that by God's grace, before I hit a particular age, I must have my PhD in my hands. I got my PhD last year, December, in leadership. Then I looked at intellectual. I rated myself 1, maybe like 3, over 10. I told myself, Oma, I need to sit down and consume information. Read, study to make thyself approved unto God. I mean, unto a workman that needed to be ashamed. See, there's before you ask people to come and stay on your shoulder, you need capacity. Otherwise, you will sink. You are not standing enough. You not ask people to come and stay on my shoulder. You will sink. You will sink. So I started paying attention to my, what's it called, to my career, intellectual life. So that wheel of life, nobody taught us many years ago. I didn't even know it. If I knew some of those things, I think it would have been far, far better. But I'm okay. I mean, that's why we are here to share this knowledge. That's some of the mistakes that I actually made, in the past. And on the final note, because I know there's still other question, relationship. Connecting with the people that will take you that God will use to the next phase of your life. In fact, one of my mentors described people as power centers. That how many power centers do you have in your life? It is the day you have trouble with road safety that you remember that, I don't even have any bodies, I don't even have road safety number on my phone.
Does you obey the law? Ask people to come.
Somebody was sharing an experience. He went to celebrate his birthday in a police station. And when he got there, he met the DPO and said, I want to do my birthday. I said, okay. And the guy brought food, gave them food, drinks, everybody rejoiced, and everybody's, After 3 weeks, this guy had issue somewhere, and they took that case to that police station. When the DPO saw the name, this guy is our friend now. This is police friend. Let him come. That's how they resolved that issue. Power centers in our life. See, when death is sure and retirement is guaranteed, and we are the departure lounge of life, 5 things will matter in our life: people, places, event, knowledge, and how we're able to manage our seasons. 5 things at the end of our journey on this planet. When death is sure and retirement is guaranteed, and we are the departure launch of life, 5 things matter. People. Were you able to attract the right people or repel the wrong people out of your life? What are the places that you're supposed to find yourself? You didn't go there. What about events? I was speaking somewhere. I was talking to some young people, all of that. A lot of them say they are trusting God for a future partner, all of that. And for me, I'm a sales person. In my book, I started talking about the law of likability. Say you are looking for a husband, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I told them, increase your likability. People buy from people. People buy people they like.
They don't buy people, they buy people.
Yes. I told the young ladies in the house, I said, increase your likability and see if men will not come to you. Then I also told them, nobody tied your what's it called, boots to either you are a Redeemed Church. Nobody say you must not. Who says you cannot leave a Redeemed Church? If all the young men are so blind, so they can't even carry your bag and go to another, what's the meaning of that?
Don't like it's of church, they only look at the ceiling.
Exactly. Who say you must read that for the next 10 years? Where is it written in the Bible? I say carry your bag and relocate to where you'll be visible, where men will see you. Just understand. So for me, those are some of the things, places. For me, I realized that my circle of influence revolve around the church. We call these guys infidel, we call these guys unbelievers, we don't even... So I realized that all my major friends are church boys. I said, which country with this? Church boys. It's good. But I realized that the Bible says we're the light of the world, not the light of the church. The church is too lighted. We have too much light. Let's go out. That's why I start going out, meeting with... See, there's a business I'm currently doing with analogy. Currently. With analogy. That church elder cannot even give me.
My godmother is an Ajia.
So what are we talking about? So it was when I realized that, I said, oh my God, I need to wake up. Pay attention to people. Attract the right people in your life. Look for events to attend. Go to places. Travel abroad. Even if it is Ghana, travel. Ghana is international joy. They will stamp your...
Talk to me. Tell my shit.
Travel. Meet with people. Connect.
Talk to me. Only village.
You are a global citizen, guys.
Oh, no.
See, I tell people, it is not a crime for you to live local. But to think local and die local is the highest crime. Even if you travel to Ghana by bus. I was in Ghana in December. Some guys came with bus. 60K.
They have visited 3 countries with that.
Exactly. 3 countries. They stamped them. Lume. 3 countries.
Benin Republic, Togo.
You have to plan it and schedule it. Meet. See, for me, it when I realized that, in fact, do you know what, guys? In my 1-year goal, which I still review today, I put it there to visit 5 countries in this year. 5 countries. When I started that in 2017, I visited Israel without even having money. I don't even know where the money came from. But because I realized the power of writing down your goals, somehow there was divine provision. That's why I found myself in Israel. I said, so this thing works. This thing works. Last year, I visited a lot of countries. This year, I've told myself at least 5 countries is sitting down in my diary. I don't know how it's going to happen. Some of you guys know if I check your phone now, all the numbers in your phone, either from your village or your community or secondary school, no foreigner, no international numbers on your phone. No international numbers. You are not, you are a local citizen, but you need to think global. Borderlessness. Our world is changed forever. The new way of thinking, the new way of doing business, connect with people, online, offline. On LinkedIn, how many communities are we connecting with? Some of us don't even have a LinkedIn account. If you are a professional and you don't have a LinkedIn account, there's a problem somewhere. In fact, they are teaching from a village. I'm serious. If it's not well branded, it took me 3 weeks to write my profile on LinkedIn. Do you know how many people have reached out to me? When I was, in fact, a company reached out to Etisalat, called me. HR called me and they said, don't give me a job in Lagos. So I had the HR. Where did they get my CV from? Because where did they get? He said they were going through my profile. They have some tools that they put on the internet and it will populate the names of who they're looking for. So I said, where is the opportunity? He said, Lagos. I said, go for bid. I'm not. No, I'm serious. I told the HR. I said, I'm not interested in Lagos job. If it's Abuja, I'll think about it. But Lagos, please, don't even go there. Do we have our LinkedIn profile optimized as professional, as business owners? That is the new world. COVID has changed the way we do business, the way we love, the way we live. Before now, if you are doing birthday, do you know how many people will call you on your birthday? On your birthday, they'll just go and send one Facebook. You even see the Facebook, they'll say they wish you birthday. They've not even called you. We are too close and too far, but that is the new world. Now we are too close, but we are too far. But that is the new world. So guys, think community. Connect to community, online, offline. Think for association. As a salesperson, if you go to my channel, you see my lawn tennis gadget. Everything is there. I can leave this place and go and play lawn tennis there. There are some MD of CEOs, I cannot walk to their office and go and see them. As soon as I enter my lawn tennis court, we'll connect. Guys that I can't meet in church, I can't meet anywhere. You go to their office, say, do you have an appointment with them? No appointment. You can't even see them. So you have to go to where these guys are. Connect with people. We make those mistakes in the past. And because, there's what they call the law of attraction. As you think and ruminate and live within this, this concept, the law of universe will begin to attract the right people. The right people into your life. So we need, like I said, the energy of change is about what we will do differently. What will I begin to do? What will I stop? What will I begin to do? What will I stop? That is every knowledge per time should be broken to 2 columns. What to stop, what to begin. That is the end of any knowledge you receive at any platform. That is the end of any knowledge. If you cannot break them down into 2 columns, what to start, what to begin. Then sometimes it may turn to energy lost. We just come and waste our time, just talk. I see some of us, the messages we have heard in the church, we can't go to hell. Somebody's not getting me. Yes. Some of the messages you have heard in the last 10, 15, 20 years, if you say you are not going to church again, that you will watch me in your house, you can't go to hell. Though I'm not saying you should not go to church anyway. But what I'm saying is that we've received so much, and we are not releasing. There are 3 stages in the life of every man. We have the energy building years. We have the energy releasing years. And we have the energy fading years. If you don't optimize your energy releasing years, it will catch up with you in your energy fading years in the evening of life. So ladies and gentlemen, I tell people by the grace of God, where we are today is all by the grace. We have made some mistakes in the past, and that's why some of us will go extra mile now to encourage young people, to mentor them, so that they won't make the same mistakes. I do interview in my office. And somebody told me that you've been looking for a job in the last 2-3 years. No single skill you have acquired in the last 2-3 years. Sometimes I just walk out of my office. You say, what did you graduate?
Can you do anything?
What?
What do you want to work anywhere?
In this 21st century. I did some interview in my office some days ago. Personal assistant. I gave them a laptop. Some don't even have to operate Microsoft Word. I want to be a PA. How? PA to who? To yourself. You think it's by carrying paper and helping the chairman to carry folder? No. Ordinary Microsoft Word. Some graduates cannot even operate Microsoft Word. And you left school 2-3 years ago. So what are you doing with your life? That you can't learn new skills. And you are waiting. You are trusting God. I'm just believing God. God is on my side. Eh? No problem. God is on your side though. But when, in church environment, everybody can carry chair and carry this thing. Oh, under anointing. We are under. As you are stepping out of the church environment, and you remember that, I don't even have transport to go home. Reality of life will dawn on you. Forget that. Anybody can shout in the church. You can make noise. You can carry chairs and carry. Oh, glory, 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 glory. As you leave the gate of the church, I'm not even going to eat for us today. Reality of life will dawn on you. So for me, guys, let's take responsibility. With the little knowledge you have had now, for me, I am ready to do more. I am ready to make more money. I am ready to give more. I'm ready to share more. But if you don't have more, you can't give more. You can't give more. You need to be well to donate blood. So let's take responsibility. Go back to this. If it's possible, go online and go and watch it again. And for everyone watching me out there, the name of the new game, right, is responsibility. If you can't take responsibility for your life, see, I tell people, God don't give weight. I've never seen where God gives weight. He gives power to make weight.
He doesn't give jollof rice. He only gives you rice.
That's all.
It's your responsibility to make it jollof.
To make it jollof rice. Sometimes we'll be praying as if, oh God, let some dollars just drop now. What?
Or somebody will forget money in the car.
See, if this roof blew open and dollar drop, you can't spend that dollar because it's counterfeit. They don't manufacture dollar in heaven. You can't spend the dollar in heaven here. If dollar drop from the ceiling, from heaven, if you take it to zone 4, they will not collect it because it cannot be original. It will be different.
So funny enough, anything God gives you, if you apply it like that, it can kill you. For
That's
instance,
it.
you decide to eat raw cassava. Manual tesculento, you will die.
Yes.
That is what God gives to you. But you say because God gave you the raw cassava, you want to eat it. It will kill you. It is now your responsibility to turn it to babazi.
That is it.
Or something else. Okay. Very.
The highest gift God owes any mortal man is the gift of life. Sure. God does not owe you money.
At all.
He only owe you life. So when you have life, you can go out there and make exploits. Ladies and gentlemen.
You want to eat Chinese? To take the eat Chinese. Higher. Wow.
Responsibility. I'm repeating myself. Responsibility is the name of the new game. If it is going to be, it is up to you. At the end of our journey, right? Knowledge, how you receive knowledge, interpret knowledge, will matter at that end. Then how you are able to manage your seasons. We all have our seasons. So how are you able to manage? So that's why I said at the end of our life, when death is sure, our retirement is guaranteed, and we are all at the departure launch of life, 5 things: people, places, events, knowledge, and seasons. 5 things. So how are you able to manage these 5 things at the end of your journey on this side of the heaven? So ladies and gentlemen, it's only in this part of the world that our reality is upside down. I'm writing 7, somebody is seeing L. I'm writing 7, somebody is seeing L. I posted something on my face, on my status this afternoon. I said to be confidently ignorant is to know nothing and not be aware. Some are still going with carriages in they are confidently ignorant, and they are still doing it with swag. You know nothing and not aware. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know my time is almost up here, so that we can also give room for questions. My highest prayer for everyone here and those that watch this out there is for us to meet at the highest platform of the world. See, the ground is so crowded, man. You need to find your space. You need to find your voice. Guys, 3 things will happen in the next 10 years, 15, 20 years. It's already happening already. There will be fading of voices. There are some voices they are hearing now. In the next 10, 15 years, they are gone. There will be fading of powers. Forget about all this. We no go grow. Oh. All the major leaders we have in this part of the world had 15, 20 years to their life.
They are gone.
Nobody will kill them. And number 3, there will be rising of the underdogs. And you and I are part of those guys. Rising of new voices. And it will never happen by default. You have to play your role to be part of the rising of the underdogs. I don't know if I've helped anybody in this commercial.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. So that before we begin to take questions, I want to start by asking. So as I engage you, I get your number, check that you're on WhatsApp, the and your own responsibility.
Yeah.
So I don't know what is your counsel for those people who never sell themselves. You discover that you watch somebody's status over 15, 20 times, you still don't know what they do for a living. Is that you see videos of them partying somewhere or posting church link? That one they are consistent. Every morning they will send you the link. So you don't know what they do for a living. You will interact with somebody for a whole more than a week. You can't still pinpoint what this person do and you can recommend this person for something. So I want to know your counsel, please. Apart from us, the people who are watching also, this inability for people to sell themselves. I don't know how you can advise them on what to do moving forward, sir.
You know, by God's grace, I'm a sales expert. I've been in the sales industry for many years. If you are the type that's always posting your church devotion to me, if there's somebody I don't want to mention church, there's always tagging me on my Instagram page and Facebook, I block the guy. My Facebook is not a church platform. If I want to start church, I will go and start church. I see, I don't have the time to even give us some other advice, because to me, that leads to an advice which I encourage people: be a subject matter expert, be an SME, be known for something. When I teach my sales and marketing stuff, digital marketing, right, I always advise my students, have a schedule for your post, either on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. You can't see me posting my church program or my status every day. No. Mondays, it's what I do, Monday motivation. People don't know the brand you represent.
They can't even tell what you do.
They can't even say this is what the person is doing. And that's why I said, please be a subject matter expert. If you want to go into trading or something, just focus on something. See, do you know how many calls I've gotten when people are looking for sales trainer? Because somebody knows this guy is a trainer. He has been talking about training, selling, sales. There's some fish you be posting now.
There are some monitoring spirits that they will even see you. You know, there are some people that you add their status. I mean, the day they will call you on that opportunity, you'll be shocked. Because somebody is, oh, okay, so she does this. Oh, she knows about this. Oh, da, da, da. So for me, guys, let's have schedules for our life. I can't share my church link every Sunday on every day on my platform. No! I am a brand. If I want to have a ministry, I will have a ministry that will be quoting Bible. Because I have Muslims, I have unbelievers, I have atheists on my platforms. So there's a time. Now, this is my book, The 48 Laws of Selling. I didn't talk about Bible, talk about God, until I got to the last chapter, which has to do with the law of divinity. I sent this book to all my friends in UK, and they said, Femi, remove the law of divinity. I said, why? So some people don't believe in God. That if you buy the book, tear off the law of divinity. Just tear it off. But the author believed there's a God that rules in the heavens of men. But the whole chapter, I didn't even talk about God. So what I'm saying is this, guys. I think people have misplaced priority. They don't even know they don't even know exactly what they want in life. And that's why I said, if you're able to set your priority right, you will know. See, I'm an ambassador with UNESCO on media literacy. A lot of times when I see what people post like this, I say, is this person okay at all?
They are not even aware that to get a visa now,
yes,
check your social media.
A friend of mine applied for US visa 3 days ago.
They go to check your social media.
A friend of mine applied for US visa on was it Tuesday or Wednesday, and they were asking for social media handle.
Is the first thing they ask you now? They want to see what you have been doing consistently.
You just go online and post anything. Even there was one of my friends, a very brand ambassador that I respected. When I saw him, how he tweeted to a particular political party. See, ladies and gentlemen, if you go to my platform, you even know who I voted for.
Me too. Me too.
What are you talking about? I know who I'm supporting.
Yes.
But you won't see it on my status. Because what goes around comes around. Protect it. Because the day it will hit back, you will never believe it.
Thank you. So, for my final question.
All right.
I let the other person ask. I want you to talk on the concept of strategy.
Okay.
Like you made mention of first start. And also you made mention of setting goals. Are there times in people's life where they will get to like a wilderness, a bus stop, where nothing will be happening? I don't know that you had that experience.
Yeah.
You know, you may want to have a goal that in certain quarter you will hit 10, 20 million naira, but you just discover that in that season, nothing is happening, it's just a stop. Probably maybe life needs to teach you a lesson, or you need to understudy your human.
Come back to a time of having a stop. Then I will now answer the first question. Now, when the going seems tough, there's always this conversation that the tough keep moving, right? The tough can keep moving and get lost. So, when complexity is intensified, what we need is collaboration. So that tough that keep going and keep going, before he get lost, let him ask questions. Let him ask for collaboration. Because you can keep going and keep going and keep going, and pop, you are inside the pit. So most times, we need to always seek for collaboration. Ask questions. And there are times in life that you need to sit and talk to yourself. Now, we have SMART goals, right? But it has gone beyond SMART. It's now smarter. The E there is evaluate, and the R is reassign. So they told us set SMART goals. So now it's no longer SMART goals, it's smarter. So that when you hit the rock, You need to come back to the drawing board, evaluate, and reassign. And also sometimes we need to always get time for solitude. When you hit the rock. There was a moment in my life that I realized that the way I'm going there, I need to be alone for some times. For 3 days, I locked myself in my library. I didn't leave. I told my wife, I don't want to talk to any mortal man for 3 days. I off my phone. My library has, very convenient place. I told my wife, if you are going to the office in the morning, just come, it's behind, just come and. So I will also do this to be sure I'm still alive. So if you didn't hear, then you should know. So when she's going to office, you just come and. I just told myself, let me shut down. Either I will be talking to spiritual or I don't want to talk to any mortal man. For 3 days and 3 nights, I was inside my library drinking water. Guys, I came out of that personal retreat. It transformed human being. Some of the ideas, I think that should be 2017 or so, yeah. Some of the ideas that I got from that 3 days, because I thought I would miss the whole world on my phone. After 3 days that I on my phone, is the regular uncle Anita TK. I thought I've missed the entire world. I shut down. As in, shut down for 3 days. I didn't leave my library for 3 days. I have some books, material information. I was just checking, writing. After that 3 days, some of the strategies that I use now, some of the ideas that I have now, I battered those things in that 3 days of shutting down. And I learned that from Mike Murdoch. There's a book titled The Secret Place. And there's this guy, Robin Sharma. He talks about the power of solitude. There are times you just be alone. You just to be alone. So for me, when we get to that point, it's better for us to just withdraw from the crowd. I have done that severally. Apart from that 3 days, sometimes I've done 1 day. Just shut down completely. In fact, there was a time that I didn't shut down completely, but I took leave in the office. I still when I was in MTN or Glow. I took 2 weeks leave. And I told myself that these 2 weeks is Bible 2 weeks holiday. For the whole of that 2 weeks, all I was doing was reading the Bible. I picked my Bible from Revelation. Almost 6 hours. I'll go to my library as if I'm going. I told my wife, I said, this one is holiday, boys. Holiday to read the Bible. So for 2 weeks, I was seated in my library, just reading the Bible. Reading the Bible. My mind opened. Then also on the power of solitude, I read a book by Kenneth Hagin when he was talking about efficient prayers. This efficient one, for this cause I bow my knees, I cease not to give thanks to God for God. I cease not to give thanks to God for me. Make mention of God in my prayers, that the God of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of glory, may give his spirit of wisdom. See, I have that scripture in my head. When I sat down and prayed that scripture for 12 hours, 14 hours. Kenneth Hagin said he prayed that Pauline's prayer 1,000 times for about 6 months. May I say, I don't have time for 6 months. I will do it. So I carried my pen. I carried my barrel. I carried my pen. Ephesians 1:16-18. I have that scripture in my head now. I can recite it for you. Even for my dream, I can recite that scripture to you. I pray that scripture 1,000 times. 1,000. 14 hours. Not 1 day. But I think at the first I spent like 2 hours. I was counting the hours. When I finished that prayer, Ephesians 1:16-18, 16 to the end, Ephesians 3:16 to the end. After praying that prayer for 1,000 times, my mind opened. Let me define selling. Selling is the ability to be able to persuade someone to buy into an idea, concept, product, or service in their own interest. You're not begging them. But remember, you are selling product, you are selling service, you are selling idea, and you are selling concept. So most times, when we talk about selling, people always look at, oh, it's product, oh, it's product. I knew a friend in this Abuja that generated an idea and sold that idea for 20 million. This Abuja. I tell people, if you go for a job interview, right, and you didn't get that job, you are not a salesperson because you couldn't sell yourself well. When you are coming for interview, you are coming to sell yourself. You know, I groomed some guys last week for a particular interview because part of what I do, I also do recruitment. So I groomed them for the interview. I look at their CV, I told them what to do, and I groomed them. I said, see, as you are going for this job, you are a salesperson. If they turn you down, it means that you couldn't sell yourself well. It's all about the value. Go and sell yourself. I sent in 6 people, and 4 of them got the job. They're going to resume on Monday. 4 of them resume on Monday. With I think the list of them will collect 100K in a month. Because I told them you are going to sell yourself. So don't think selling is only for people that are selling products. You are going to sell yourself. So if you are not able to sell yourself well, why will I buy into you? People buy into people. And people will buy into you, first of all, before they buy into your product. A young man came to my office some days ago for an interview, and the guy was wearing, I walked the guy out. So you are coming for interview like this, I walked him out. A lady came to my office for interview. She sat down. I think I don't know what she has done. I didn't want her to sit down. She sit down and she crossed her leg like this. After I interviewed her, I now open up her eyes. I say, see, do you know why you're here? I thought she'd be angry because the way I spoke to her, she never believed it. I thought she'd be angry and bang my door and walk away. But I corrected her in love. She virtually went for that interview and she got the job. She resumed on Monday. So, number 1, you need to identify your prospect. Number 2, you don't sell yourself, your product or idea if you have not built relationship. Prospecting and building rapport is very, very important. You don't sell until you ask questions, need analysis. Number 1, prospect. Number 2, build relationship. Oh, nice shirt, nice, looking good. If I'm coming to market this man now, as I enter this office, and I see one Gucci there, my conversation will be about that Gucci. People will buy into you before they buy into your product. Once you're able to build, see, I've gone to some place to go and market, and I see winners. What's it called there? All of us that day were winners.
That's a strategy.
What are you talking about? All of us that day were all winners. Bless you. Or I see Pastor Bionu. We are all celebrated. What are you talking about? That day we are all constant people. That is selling strategy. Or you are a Man U fan and you enter somebody's office and you saw what's it called? Instantly we are all Chelsea fans that day. Because you need to sell. So you need to build relationship with people first before you sell to them. And even in conversation, before you see, I have a program that I run now. It's like a MLM, multi-level marketing anyway. And I designed a particular strategy that, okay, a dinner with FG. I did a flyer. We sent an invitation to people. And they came for dinner. Me. You come and eat my food and go away. I don't even know. I'm a salesman. So I kept that my opportunity somewhere. So I started by discussing connected economy, borderlessness. For about 30 minutes, because see, the heart is like a soil. If you don't water it, Whatever you planted will never grow. So I have watered their heart, watered their mind, hit them, open their mind to global opportunity. And in 15 minutes, I said, listen, gentlemen, I have this opportunity I want to share with you guys. La, 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 la. See, in that meeting that day, somebody signed up with over $25,000 for that opportunity that I shared with them. They didn't know they are coming to your opportunity. They may have an idea anyway. But at the end of that conversation, after I have watered the soil, after I prepared their mind, after they've seen a global perspective, the guy said, I will invest $25,000. He invested that money 3 days ago. No, on Tuesday. But I didn't start by talking about the investment. See, when people know, they will take decision. So I open their mind to global. So see, there's a lot. So you need to build relationship with people before you say anything to them. Very, very important. Connect with people. Sell yourself. Don't sell your product. Don't sell your idea. Don't sell your concept until people are able to buy into you. Because they will buy into you, first of all, before they buy into your product. So people buy people. People buy from people they know, from people they like, people they trust. In this book, I talk about the law of likability. There's a law in this book. This is 48 laws of selling. I talk about the law of likability. Never pitch any product or anything until you are able to build likability in the heart of your prospect. I don't know if I've answered your question. All right.
Question.
My name is Yvonne and I work with the insurance sector. Would you liken likability to building trust? Where you said something about that people have to like you or probably
trust?
Yeah. Would it be the same as saying they have to build trust in you before they buy the product? It's the same thing.
They are not the same thing. In this book, I have the law of trust. I read some time ago, selling without selling your soul.
Selling without selling your soul.
Yes, selling. There's a small book like this. There's a small book titled Selling Without Selling Your Soul. In that book, the guy took his time to analyze integrity and trust. That once, see, the best way I want to describe trust is once you appear, you might not be able to reappear. You don't most times have the second chance to come and create an impression that has been created. So once you appear, you might not be able to reappear. Oh, I'm sorry, let me come back. You see, so the first impression you give to people, on trust, on integrity is very, very, very important. You can't come back and say, oh God, I was just joking. Joking, okay? It's a law. It's already registered. So for me, it's important while dealing with people, under promise and over deliver. Don't promise heaven and earth, and at the end of the day, you couldn't even deliver the earth. Talk about heaven. So let people trust you. And if people trust you, I've done some businesses today that people invested into it because it's coming from Femi Joshua, not because of that company. When I was in MTN, many people did business with MTN because of me. I always share with people, says people, that sometimes you need to identify where your probable buyers goes to and also go there to identify with whatever they are doing. Take, for instance, there was a time I was trying to sell a particular product to a particular top government official. Right? Try to connect with him. And every time you go to the office, a guy is not around, you can't see him, blah, 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 blah. And I was following, and I realized that this guy has one major event in Transcorp. All of us were invited. It was a free event. I ate free food, and I met him one-on-one. So let me just give my final word, guys. The truth of the matter is that I tell people, I'm going nowhere. I just go where the valley goes, right? And my highest expectation is that we are related, And because we are related, I know we are still going to connect somewhere, either online or offline, wherever we are still going to connect. But my faith remains so strong. And my faith is to fly the flag of my faith on the highest mountain possible. Very clear. And very soon, I know we are all going to connect in the biggest platform of the universe. Thank you. God bless you.
Before you leave, I wanted to ask, did you come copies of your book?
Okay, yeah, sorry. Unfortunately, I have just one copy left. We are sold out. So what I did last year, right, I decided to do the audio, video. So we got some international narrators, right?
Yeah.
They narrated everything so that we can hit global market.
Yes.
Me, I'm from Oyo State. The way I will talk, the way they when you get to some countries, they will just delete my, what's it called? So we got some guys, they did good narration for us. So we translate everything here into an audio. 905 888 8844 0905 888 8844. Once you send and I'm interested to that number, they will send you a link. Once you make your payment, you receive the link and you download. Chicken now. And if you also want the MP, if you also want the PDF, it's also available. That one is 5K. Just also send the same message to that 0905 888 8844. Thank you very much and God bless you. All right.